everyone. My name is Libby Sinowitz, and I'm an assistant professor of plant virology at Clemson University in South Carolina. And you have probably heard more about viruses and learned more about viruses in the last couple of months than you ever wanted to know. But today I'm going to talk a little bit about how viruses can impact some of our favorite crops. In South Carolina, our major fruit crop is peaches. And in the southeastern U.S., the most important viruses of peach trees are called Prunus necrotic ring spot virus and prune dwarf virus. Viruses are most often transmitted to fruit trees before they are even planted. And so a lot of the efforts at managing viruses are mostly preventative, and they're aimed at making sure that these new trees are propagated from trees that are known to be negative for these particular viruses. Once planted, though, the orchards are still susceptible to these viruses and can still be infected in a number of ways, including insect vectors. So if an insect will feed on an infected plant and then transmit the virus to a healthy plant. For Prunus necrotic ring spot and prune dwarf virus, these can actually be transmitted through infected pollen from tree to tree. Prunus necrotic ring spot virus and prune dwarf virus might not have huge impacts on the tree if they're found in isolated infections, but once they are co-infected in the same tree, then you can see up to 60% yield loss. And so in my new lab at Clemson University, we're trying to understand this whole pathosystem in a couple of different ways. First, we're trying to understand how these two viruses interact in order to cause this sort of greater than additive effect on the peach trees. We're also kind of zooming out and looking at things in the bigger picture, and we're trying to understand how these viruses spread in orchards. We are trying to understand also how insects might be involved in this pathosystem and how they might be moving these viruses around. And the whole idea here is that if we can learn about how these viruses are spreading in orchards, then we can target them and try to figure out ways to disrupt their spread. Just as human viruses vary in their severity, like for example the viruses that cause the common cold or Ebola virus, there's a lot of variation in the type of impacts that plant viruses can have on these important crops. I just hope that next time that you are picking up your peaches or your apples or your cherries, either at the farm stand or in the grocery store, that now you have a different appreciation for how researchers like us at Clemson, how we're trying to protect these trees from damaging viruses.